Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to show you guys how I made these sourdough tortillas. These tortillas are so delicious. They almost remind me of like a pita just because they're a little bit on the thicker side, because I am not the best on like making them super thin, but hopefully you guys still enjoy this recipe. We're going to start off with 125 grams of sourdough discard or active sourdough starter. So for this video, I actually used active starter and I let the dough rise because I wanted it to ferment a little bit throughout the day because I needed it for dinner time, and that's what I decided to do. But if you want, you can use discard and use it right away. I mixed 80 grams of water into my starter, and then I mixed it very well until there were no more clumps of starter left over. This is going to be a little bit on the thicker side and a little bit on the frothy side. And then I added 3 grams of salt, about 50 grams of olive oil, and we are going to mix everything together. And then we're going to add 200 grams of flour. I will leave the recipe as always in the description for you guys. But if you are going to use active starter and you want to let this dough ferment a little bit, like I did in today's video, you are going to knead the dough until it becomes smooth, about 5 minutes I would say, and then you're going to let it ferment on the counter for a few hours. I let it almost double in size, and then I decided to use it. You can also put it into the refrigerator overnight so it can do a cold proof and improve those benefits, and then take it out in the morning or whenever you're ready to use it. Let it come to room temperature and then continue the following steps. So as you see here, I am still mixing all the ingredients together. It's gonna seem like there's too much flour, but just keep mixing and it'll come into a dough. I like to mix it with my spatula because it helps me clean my bowl as I incorporate all the ingredients together. And then I go ahead and knead with my knuckles or with my hands. I also do a few slap and folds because I feel like that helps the dough just get nice and smooth and let all the ingredients like mix together very well. So I just let this dough rest on the counter for a few hours. If you use discard, you're going to mix all the ingredients together, let the dough rest for 30 minutes, and then you can continue with the next steps. I made 6 tortillas with this recipe, but you can either make them smaller, make them bigger, double this recipe so you can make more. It's really up to you, whatever is more convenient for you and your family. And yeah, here's my daughter touching the dough. She just wanted to touch it because I told her it was so soft. And I measured all of the dough and just split it into equal parts. I believe I did about 75 grams each. So then I roll the dough balls into tight little balls. So I grab the dough and I just kind of fold it towards the middle, and I just kind of pinch it, and I just do push and pull motions, circular motions on my mat until I feel like there's enough tension. And then I just continue doing the same thing with the rest of the dough. I let the dough rest for about 15 to 20 minutes just so it can relax a little bit and it's easier to roll out. So for this step, you're gonna have to use flour just so it doesn't stick to your rolling pin or to your mat. And you're going to roll this dough out. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am not the best at this step. So just roll the dough, turn it over, roll it again, trying to make a circle essentially. But it doesn't come out perfect, but it's fine. It tastes delicious anyways. But I will show you a little trick if you are struggling with rolling out your dough as I do. I can never get the perfect circle with just my rolling pin. So, I just keep trying to make the dough even so there's no like thicker parts of the dough. And once I feel like I've gotten it like kind of the same in a way, I just use my hands to push down on the dough just to like make it stay big, because it does tend to shrink a little bit sometimes. but when I use my hands, it just like helps it stay better. So you're gonna see here how I just kind of use my hands to push down on the dough, and it sticks to my mat, and I just let it sit there for a little bit. You know, sometimes there's some parts that get super thin, but as long as it doesn't rip, you are fine. So this is how I do it. It kind of looks like I'm like kneading a pizza dough or something, but it's just what works for me. If you are better at rolling out dough, then you are one step ahead of me. So this is another dough ball. I skipped the part where I used the rolling pin. I kind of just flattened it out to this point, and then from here I just use my fingers to press it down and to just give it a better circular shape. So as I'm rolling out each dough, I'm putting it into a pan and flipping it once I see lots of bubbles on the top. This usually takes about 1 to 2 minutes. These flour tortillas cook very quickly, and it's just so fast to make. I love making these. Sometimes I do it with just discard, and I have tortillas within an hour. So this is a quick recipe. Either you can let it ferment on the counter like I did, or if you don't, it's still fine. It tastes the same, honestly, because I do both. But I wanted to show you guys that you can also ferment these tortillas just in case, you know, you want to make the dough today but use it tomorrow or the next day. You know, why not take advantage and use active starter for it? So I have my pan on low heat here, and you're going to see how quickly the bubbles start to form. And once I see enough bubbles, I just flip the tortilla before it burns, because sometimes it can like get dark pretty quickly just because they cook so fast. You can put them in like a bowl with a tea towel on it and keep them nice and warm. That way, when you're ready to eat, they're still nice and soft and warm. These tortillas are honestly so soft. You can, you know, bend them and they won't rip, which is very nice. And just in case you are curious on how I top these tortillas, like in the beginning of the video, I just put some avocado spread on the tortilla, and then I added a little bit of lettuce, some tomatoes, I put some chicken, some little onion crisps, I think they're called jalapeno crisps as well, and a little drizzle of barbecue sauce. I want to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I will see you guys in my next one.